Wendy Williams' ex-husband is taking her talk show's production company to court. Kevin Hunter is suing Debmar Mercury for alleged wrongful termination from his longtime role as executive producer on The Wendy Williams Show. In court documents obtained by People, the complaint claimed he was fired, quote, on the basis of his marital status, which is barred by the New York City human rights law.
So it looks like Kevin Hunter, aka Kelvin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex-husband, his karma has finally come, because he's claiming in new court documents that he is about to be foreclosed on because his payments, his alimony checks, have run dry.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband, because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Celebrities calling it quits are quite a spectacle in the entertainment industry nowadays. Well, Wendy Williams takes the cake from all the couples standing in line. Wendy Williams, the talk show host known for her outspoken and engaging personality, is fighting back against her ex-husband Kevin Hunter, who is attempting to use the court system to extort money from her. But Wendy isn't someone you could mess around with. In a sudden twist of events, or shall we say karma has finally caught up with Kevin Hunter, making him cry broke. The pathetic two-timer is about to be homeless, as Wendy is incapable of paying for him. With no job or income to fall upon, what will be in store for him? Is this the woeful consequence of divorcing a faithful wife? Let's find out more about how and why Wendy suddenly cut off her ex. Wendy reclaimed her single status legally after ending her marriage to Kevin Hunter, following the revelation of Hunter's affair and love child in 2020. Despite the single status, the talk show host has been very open about her medical hazards, including her battle with Graves' disease, lymphedema, and vertigo. Her most iconic reply regarding her medical conditions was back in 2018, as she said, "Stop asking me why I wear sneakers. I have lymphedema. Stop asking me why my eyes bulge. I've got Graves' disease. Stop asking me like dumb mess. Can we connect on a more cerebral level?" Aside from her medical reasons, the TV show star's alcohol addiction is also an open secret in the entertainment industry. According to rumors, her substance abuse would have worsened if her talk show's production company, Debmar Mercury, would have acted so reasonably. So Wendy Williams checked back into rehab for about 2 months to treat her substance abuse issues amid her fallout with the production company. Sources from a popular celebrity magazine, Page 6, says, "It's gotten worse. She went from wine to straight-up vodka. They turned their backs on her. They had too much control over someone so vulnerable." Fans have been quite happy about this development in the talk show queen's life. One of them even expressed his joy by tweeting, "Relieved to hear that Wendy Williams is getting the help she needs. She entertained us for many years, and I wish she gets well. It's hard to fight your demons sometimes. Let's show a little compassion and pray that she heals once and for all." Not only the fans, but also her dear brother was rooting for her quick recovery. But Kevin Hunter had something else in mind. For him, it was the perfect opportunity to kick Wendy into the curb while she was still recuperating. Kevin's innuendo post stated, "Birthday vibes all week. So thankful to the Most High God for all blessings. I tried to tell him health is wealth, not money. God said, they'll learn. Have a blessed day." Eventually, the fans came to the rescue saying, "And the fact that you would say this knowing what Wendy is going through is not of God. So don't bring God into this. Devil, I rebuke you." After being slammed by People, Kevin meekly deleted his post from social media. Coming back to the broke ex story, Wendy paid $250,000 to him to find a new home before they began discussing the financial assets of their divorce. Additionally, Williams did agree to keep a $1 million life insurance policy on herself that'll be left to Hunter if she kicked the bucket before him. However, Hunter did keep the ownership of the cars and businesses he owned. Considering the public humiliation which Williams dealt with after the fallout from Hunter's affair and their subsequent divorce, she was pretty generous to her unfaithful ex. Well, apparently all the businesses were not worth a dime. According to Hunter, the alimony payment suddenly stopped in February, and Wendy went on to social media to speak about the lawsuit, where she revealed that her money was not being released by Wells Fargo. In the lawsuit against the bank, Williams' lawyer, LaShawn Thomas, was rejected from taking the case due to a conflict of interest. Later, at the conclusion of the lawsuit, she was placed under financial guardianship earlier this year after her bank suspected she was suffering from financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence, so her accounts were frozen in March. Kevin refused to let his lazy rich wife be snatched from him, so he appealed to the court requesting that even if Wendy is unwell, her guardian should pay the contractually required amount as mentioned in the MSA and severance agreement. In a desperate attempt, he further explained that he was completely dependent on the payments. He stated, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill." He said, "If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow." Aside from being in danger of becoming homeless, Kevin also claimed that he cannot afford health insurance without the alimony payments promised to him as part of his and Wendy's divorce settlement, particularly now that he is in need of hip surgery. Wendy's defendant's attorney gave a knockout response to Kevin. On October 15th of 2021, plaintiff was informed by Talk WW that her contract was being suspended and that no compensation shall accrue or be payable to plaintiff for the duration of plaintiff's disability and capacity. She proceeded to read the article from the divorce settlement document saying, "If for any reason Wendy's contract with Talk WW is not renewed and or is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and Wendy does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, Kevin understands and agrees that all severance payment shall be subject to either termination or modification." This KO response had Hunter's spirits dwindling. Well, you all know the saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. So Hunter again filed a $10 million wrongful termination lawsuit against Wendy's former producers in March in connection to his termination from the manager position of the Wendy's talk show. Kevin argued he was wrongfully fired from the Wendy Williams Show executive producer post. He also claimed that the real reason behind his termination was his divorce. The producers fired back with a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, stating that Kevin's marriage to Wendy was not a protected characteristic under this law. They pointed out that he allegedly failed to provide any evidence that can prove he was terminated directly because Wendy filed for divorce. Well, too bad for Hunter now that no fish is catching his bait. His hysteria for money has not gone unnoticed by the public. They've been bashing him all over social media. A fan expressed his thoughts saying, "I'm not a Wendy Williams fan. However, I have no respect for any man kicking a woman who is already down." Clearly, Wendy has health issues and continues to struggle with them. The minute he stepped out and had an affair and a baby, he made a new bed. Now it's time for him to lie in the bed he made. If Kevin Hunter can't afford to pay where he's living, then he needs to find a place where he can afford to pay. Another added, "This man has been living off Wendy for quite some time. He used up his paychecks on the mistress, then started using Wendy's money to further finance the affair and made love child. Looks like he needs to downsize to a life he can afford. Instead of trying to force the courts to give you something you don't deserve from someone who is going through their own life crisis, what a creep." Now, with no public or financial support to back him up, things are looking rocky for the future. He would have to find a good job or a stable income to support his and his family's extravagant expenses because Wendy now had enough of him and can't pay for his bills anymore. Well, just like the other entertainment news, conspiracy theories regarding this whole fiasco have been raging on the internet. Many people who've been following Wendy's podcast are finding the situation quite compromising. They think the always put together and well-planned celebrity is now going through such unexpected scandals. They conspire that Wendy herself has been finding a roundabout way to cut her cheating ex and his family off. One conspiracist commented, "Her decline seemed to be so rapid and so dramatic for a woman who had always been so business savvy and on top of her game. Her planning this would make so much more sense to me than her suddenly taking such a mental decline. If this was her plan all along, I am here for it. There's absolutely no reason she should be supporting her ex-husband, his mistress, and his love child. So the fact that this clause was put in her divorce papers is genius." Well, you do get what you sow. So these are all the nitty-gritty details about the ongoing drama in Wendy Williams' life. Until next time, goodbye.